Thanks for tuning in to Staying at Home with Sally. I'm Sally, and today I have Caroline with me who is going to sit here while I make this craft for you. So today we're going to make a epoxy resin keychain. This is one that I've already made. This one is a Minnie Mouse one. And what you'll need to do this craft is some of these little measuring cups, which I got these from Hobby Lobby. You can also get them on Amazon. You'll need a popsicle stick. You'll need some gloves. You'll need some glitter. And optional is some paint, acrylic paint. And then the most important part of the craft is the epoxy resin, which I got this from Hobby Lobby, but they also have it on Amazon. Just try to find a good deal for how many ounces you get. And then you also need the other important part, which is the silicone mold. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my gloves because you cannot have this touch your skin. So this isn't really a kid craft, it's more for adults. And also here I have a silicone baking mat just so that I won't get it on the table. And this, whenever it's on the silicone, it comes right off. Because here's some that just popped right off. That's from the last thing that I did. Okay, so this epoxy is a half and half, 50-50. So what that means is you're going to mix the equal amount of A side to B side in order for it to work. What I do, which I've seen people do different things, but what I'm going to do for this one, for this particular keychain, I'm doing this smaller mold, and you do not need very much epoxy mixed. I'll probably do about 20 milliliters, so it would be 10 of B and 10 of A. And then Caroline's gonna be a star. And then for this one, which is a bigger one, it would probably need 30. It's better to mix too much rather than too little, just because if you mix too little, then you gotta mix it all up again. So just to be safe, I'm gonna do 20 milliliters of this one, for this one. Okay, so another thing before I get started is, for this one, I'm only going to do the glitter. And whenever you mix it, you're going to do enough glitter so that whenever you pick it up onto the popsicle stick, you hardly see any popsicle stick. And another way to do it is, for this one in particular, it's pretty solid colored, right? So what I did was I mixed the acrylic paint with the epoxy first, then I mixed the glitter with the paint and the epoxy. So that's how I got it more solid color. The one that I'm going to show you after I've mixed this one is all glitter, and I'll show it to you in just a second. Okay, so to start off, we're going to take the measuring cup. It's kind of like a medicine measuring cup, and it has milliliters on it. And I'm going to take part B first, and I'm going to put 10 milliliters of part B into the measuring cup. Now, if it's your first time, then I recommend using 2 measuring cups to start out, just to make sure that you get the correct amount. And I forgot to mention that you should do this in a well-ventilated area. So whenever I let this cure, I put it in the garage or somewhere like that so that it doesn't smell up the room. Now I'm putting 10 milliliters of part A. Don't, Caroline. Now I'm going to take my popsicle stick and I'm going to mix this slowly for about 2 minutes or until that it is clear. Whenever you start mixing it, it'll start to look foggy and you're going to mix it until it looks clear again. I also wanted to mention that I got my silicone molds from Amazon and Etsy, but you can get some from Hobby Lobby, but I don't think that they have the hole already punched into the silicone mold like these do. Caroline, say, "Aw." Okay, it's almost done, and you also want to mix it and try not to have any air bubbles because the air bubbles will show up in your keychain. I'll also show you a way to prevent that once we pour it in. Whenever I do a keychain with acrylic paint, I put just a little at first to see what it looks like, and then if I need to put more, then I'll put more. Okay, now this is clear again. I know you can't really tell, but it's clear again and it's not foggy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the glitter. Now this can get messy, so just try to do it over something. You want to put a good amount and then stir and then see where you're at from there. This is also fine glitter. I got it from Hobby Lobby. And then I have chunky glitter. They both work well. I just think that the fine glitter makes it look more solid instead of like just complete glitter, which I'll show you the difference. We're making a keychain. Okay, so this is enough glitter. So whenever I pick up the popsicle stick, it's mostly just solid red. There's not hardly any popsicle stick that shows through. Life with a 2-year-old, am I right? Actually, I'm gonna add just a little bit more glitter. You can never have too much glitter, I don't think. At least I've made several of these and not had too much glitter. You'll notice whenever you first add the glitter in, it starts to kind of clump up, which that's okay. Just keep stirring and it will get there. Okay, that's better. Okay, now it's as simple as just pouring this into the silicone mold. Okay, and you're gonna start pouring slowly. And then I like to wait to make sure that it goes all the way around the little hole for the keychain, and it did. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap it like this to get any air bubbles out. Okay, so as you can see, I probably have a little bit less than 10 milliliters left over, so 20 was a little bit too much, but it's better to be safe than sorry. So I'm just going to let this sit. I've noticed that the smaller keychains don't take as long, maybe 8 hours. The bigger keychains take a little bit longer, and it all depends on the weather, the humidity, the temperature, basically every aspect of the weather. So that's gonna sit overnight, and then I've got one that I have already done. This one is just the chunky glitter. There's no paint in it, and it's no fine glitter. So it'll just pop out like the silicone mold. The resin doesn't stick to the silicone, and it just pops right out. So this is what this one looks like, and there's the hole in the top, and this is the chunky glitter. And by chunky, I mean that it is bigger in size than this small fine glitter. So here's another mold that I have, which is the Mickey Mouse one, and then I have the 2 circle ones. Here's the one up close of the one that I did with paint with glitter, which is mostly just paint with a little bit of sparkle. Then here's the one that I done, that's Mickey Mouse, and I did fine glitter, and then I sprinkled the chunky glitter inside of it just to give it like a aesthetic. So that's what that one looks like. These keychains, I ordered them from Amazon. The big little key ring thing right here, I got that from Hobby Lobby, but they had these at Hobby Lobby too, but since I kind of do a side business thing, I bought it from Amazon in bulk. So that's why I got that from Amazon. So then after that cures and you pull it out, then you can put a sticker on it. When you put a sticker on it, to make it last longer, you should put just a very small, thin layer of epoxy over it and let it cure again. Of course, it won't take half as long because you're not doing like 20 milliliters or 10 milliliters of it. You're just doing enough to basically take your popsicle stick or your finger, put it in the epoxy, and rub it over it just to make it stay. This one, I actually have a sticker on it. It's a gift for someone, but it's okay because she can just watch the video and see it. So here's the sticker with the epoxy. I've already put the epoxy on it. So now it will stay and last longer. And then if you want to do the other side with a sticker, of course you'll wait till this cures, then you'll flip it over, put a sticker on it, and then do the same thing. Then you'll put the keychain in it. And that's how you make one of the resin keychains. I'm sure you've seen them probably on Etsy and everywhere else. Of course, it's only really worth getting all of the supplies and stuff if you want to make a few. So, I mean, you could make them and give them as gifts for Christmas or for birthdays or other holidays. I mean, I think they make good gifts. I've made all of mine as gifts for the most part. I also make epoxy tumblers, and that's basically a tumbler where you put the epoxy on it with the glitter and then a sticker, and then you epoxy it again, and it makes it very cool looking. I have a lot of people ask about them. But those take a few days to make because you have to cure it several times, and it takes a lot longer because it's a lot more space. But I hope you enjoyed this simple craft. You can get everything at Hobby Lobby or Amazon, and I hope you try to make one so that way you can use them for yourself or give them as gifts. Thanks for tuning in to Staying at Home with Sally.